Welcome to Excise and Licenses online training videos. This video will show you how to apply online for a new massage business license. There are a couple of steps that you will need to take before you apply online. You'll want to go to the massage business website to see all required documents for this new application. You want to make sure that you have all of your documents filled out and uploaded on your computer. Please make sure that the files are in a PDF or JPEG format. We are not able to open any other file type. And then you'll want to make sure that you log into Denver's online permitting and licensing center. You'll want to make sure that you have an account registered for your applications. If you do not have an account, make sure that you register for an account. And then once you have that, you'll log into Denver's online permitting and licensing center to submit your application. And you want to make sure that you have a credit card or a debit card ready. We accept Visa, MasterCard, or Discover credit cards. You may also process a payment from a bank account. You would need the routing number, account holder name, and account type. I'm going to now show you how to apply online at Denver's Permitting and Licensing Center. So the first thing that you'll want to do is you can either click on login, or here you can enter in your email and password. So type in your email and your password, and then you'll click on login. And then here is the main welcome page for Denver's Permitting and Licensing Center. You will be applying new here where it says business, occupational, short-term, and residential rental licensing. You're going to go into this portion of the online permitting center and you're going to click on apply new. And then here are the different types of business licenses that you can apply for online for excise and licenses. You are going to apply for a massage business license, and that is under this section. It's the all other online business licenses and residential rental properties section. You're going to click on the circle next to application package, and then you're going to click on continue application. And then again, here is a list of licenses that you can apply for under this section. And as you can see, massage business is under this section. So you're going to click on continue. And then here is where it's going to tell you the steps that you have to take to submit your application. The first step is we're going to ask about the licensed establishment. And that's the physical address where the license is going to be operating. It's the address. And then the entity registration is the company name and who owns that company that's applying for this license. That's going to be like the LLC or the incorporated or whatever company is applying for this license at that address. And then we're going to ask you, what type of license are you going to apply for? In today's example, you're applying for a massage business license. And then finally, we're going to ask for contact information. And again, we're going to ask for owner contact information, company contact information, and then general contact information that we can release out to the public. And then you'll also want to have all of your documents completed and filled out and uploaded to your computer ready for this application. And then you also want to make sure that you have your payment method ready, because we will not consider the application submitted until the payment has been received. So then now we're going to click on get started. All right. And then here is where you're going to tell us whether where the license is at. And it just asks if the license is within the city and county of Denver. For this massage business license, it must be within the city and county of Denver. So you're going to say here, yes, it's located in Denver. And then you're going to click on continue application. And then here, it wants you to tell us where the address is for your business. It's going to ask for the street number and street name. So you are going to enter in the street number and street name of your business address. And please make sure that you type in everything correctly, whether it's uppercase or lowercase. use correct grammar and punctuation when you're creating these applications. And so again, you enter in the street number and the street name, and then it's going to ask if you operate out of multiple units. So does this business license go from unit 201 through 205? If it does, you're going to click on yes. And if it doesn't, you're going to click on no. And then you are going to click on search. And then here it's going to come up with a couple of options and you want to make sure that you select the address that is yours. So is it north, south, east, or west? So for this example, we are going to select west. And then here it gives you options for parcel numbers. If you don't know what your parcel number is for your address, just select the first one. And then again, it is going to give you associated owners. And in this example, there's only one associated owner, so that's already selected. So then you're going to click on select. So now the street address is filled out. And if your address had a unit number or multiple addresses, it would give you the option to select that. And otherwise, this didn't have any suites or units associated with that license, so it came up with nothing. So then we'll click on continue application. And then here, if there's other licenses already at your location, it will ask you, does this licensed establishment number and this entity registration company name and this entity registration number, is that your company at your location? If it's not, you're going to say no. And more than likely in your instance, you're going to say no because this is a brand new application at this location. And then so you'll select no, and then you'll click on continue application. If one of these was related to you, that the licensed establishment number, the entity registration name, and the entity registration ID matched exactly for something that you have created before, you would say yes, and you would select the one that matches you exactly, and then you would continue. But again, you're probably new to applying for licenses online with excise and licenses. So you're going to select no and then click on continue application. And also, another thing to remind you is if you find out that you need to gather some documents or information and you need to go get that, don't let your computer time out. What you need to do is save and resume within 30 days and log out of your application. Otherwise, it will mess up your application if you just let your computer time out. So if you ever need to walk away from your application, always save and resume within 30 days and then and log out. When you log back in, you'll find your under your records, you'll find the resume application. So then we're going to click on continue application. And then here it's asking you, what type of license are you applying for today? And so you click on add a license. And then from this record type, there's a drop down menu. You click on that. And then for today's example, you're going to select massage business license and then click on submit. And then you'll click on continue application. And then here it's asking you to tell us about your company or your entity or the individual who will be holding the license. And so the company name, it asks if you've completed an entity registration for Denver's Department of Excise and Licenses. This does not mean if you've registered your company at the state level. It's have you ever applied online for Denver's Excise and Licenses online applications? More than likely, you're brand new to applying online, so you're going to say no. If you say yes, you need that entity registration number, and that would be listed under your records within this online account. And the entity registration number is 4 numbers, and it's the year that the entity was created here on the online records with excise and licenses. So for this example, it would be 2022 dash entity dash, and then there's 7 numbers. For this example, we are going to say no, we've never applied online or created an entity at Excise and Licenses because this is a new massage business application. And then it's going to ask you, what is your entity type? And that's a for-profit corporation, a limited liability company, etc. For this example, we're going to say that it's a limited liability company. And then now you need to do the true name of the company. For this example, you are going to list out the full name of the company and then comma and then LLC. You need the full business name of the company. Or if it's a corporation, it may be EXL Training Videos, comma INC or something, but you need the full company name listed out here. And again, use correct punctuation and grammar and uppercase and lowercase when you're using when you're entering in this information, because how you type in this information is how it's going to print out on your license. So make sure that you enter it in properly. And then again, you're going to review everything for accuracy and then click on continue application. And then here it's asking for main contact. This main contact information is for excise and licenses to use. It's for us to contact whoever is responsible for the license. If we need to go to the business or anything like that, we need a good person's first name and last name, their email address and phone number. And it needs to be a very good email address and first name, last name, and phone number. So you'll enter in the first name, the last name, and then you'll enter in the email address, and then you will also enter in the phone number. And so you're going to enter in the phone number and then make sure that everything is accurate. So look at it and make sure that it's accurate. And then if it looks good, then you are going to click on continue. And again, one more time, you're going to view it for accuracy. If you need to make an update on it, you'll just click on this little edit button and you'll go in and correct any mistakes. And then you'll click on submit again. And then you'll click on continue application. And then here is the mailing address. We need a good mailing address for your company in case we need to mail you any documents or notifications. So again, a good mailing address with your company name, and then if you have a suite or a unit, please include that also. Or if it's a post office box, make sure you have all of that information in there as well. And so you'll enter in all of that information and then you'll click on continue. And again, you'll look at everything for accuracy. If it isn't right, you'll click on that edit button and go in and make the updates and click submit. And then you'll click on continue application. And then here is, do you want someone else within your company to have notification regarding your application? If so, you can input their email address here. For today's example, we're going to leave it blank. And then we're going to click on continue application. And then here is the last time you can review everything for accuracy. If you see anything's wrong, like the address of the company isn't right, you don't have a unit number in there or something like that, or you applied for the wrong business license, or you entered in the company name incorrectly, please look at everything and look at it carefully and make sure that everything is accurate. If you need to edit anything, you can click the edit button here and it will take you back to that part of the application to correct. Because if you don't, your whole application will be submitted incorrectly. So again, please make sure you review everything for accuracy. And then here, you'll read the oath of application. Please make sure that you read everything for accuracy. and then check this box, and then you'll click on Create Application Package. Okay, so now we are going to complete the 3 sections of the application. The first section that I'm going to click on is the entity registration, and this is the company information. So you're going to click on Start, and then here again, you're going to just see that you entered in the company type and the name of the company, and you're going to click on Continue Application. This page is telling you the documents that you're going to need to upload for this application. If you have a list of trade names under which the entity operates, and that means the does business as, the DBA, that's the sign on the building. So if you have a trade name that is different than the LLC name, then you'll want a list of those. And then you'll also want a copy of the entities or the company's bylaws or operating agreement or partnership agreement or other applicable organizational documents for every owner entity, like a parent company, a holding company, etc., that's associated with this business license. And if you have questions about what those documents are, you could click on this and it will take you to a website that tells you about the organizational documents that are required. And then also, for all owners that are 10% or more that are qualifying owners, you need their first name, their last name, their date of birth, their home address, and their contact information. That's an email address and a phone number. It is required for every owner. And then you'll also need a copy of their driver valid identification, whether it's a driver's license, etc., for each whole natural person listed as an owner. And then you will also need an FBI background check for any owner listed, and that FBI background check cannot be no more than 60 days old before the application date. If it's outside of that time period, we will make you rerun an FBI background check. And again, if you have any questions about these required documents, you could go to our webpage and find out what the required documents are. If you don't have all of these documents, again, you can save and resume this application within 30 days. Otherwise, if you have everything filled out and it's uploaded on your computer in a JPEG or PDF format, click on Continue Application. And then here, if you have a trade name for your business, enter in a trade name. And so you'll add a trade name, and then you will just give us the trade name. And again, that's what is your DBA or does business as. And that might be different than your LLC name. And so for this example, we're going to say the trade name is Massage Business, and we're going to click on Submit. So when it prints on your license, it will have the LLC name, and then it will have the Does Business as name listed underneath that. And then you'll click on Continue Application. And then here it's asking, does anyone own 10% or more of the license, either directly or indirectly through another company? And so for this example, we're going to say yes. And then we want you to enter all of the owners underneath here. So you're going to click on Add Owner, and then you're going to add the first name and the last name of the owner. And then you're going to enter in their home address and with their city and the state and their zip code. And then we also want their date of birth. So please make sure you enter in their date of birth. And then also, what is their position within the company? You could click on that drop down menu and select what their position is. For this example, we're going to say owner, and then we're going to type in the phone number for that person. And again, you want to make sure that it is an accurate phone number. And then also we want a accurate email address for them. And then what is the percentage that they own the company? And then you can enter in their ethnicity and you can enter in their race, and you can enter in their gender. This is not required, but if you okay that, we are collecting this information. And then you'll click on submit. And here it tells you why we're collecting this information and whether what we will do with that information. And you can read that for information. And then again, make sure you review everything for accuracy. And if you need to edit anything, you can check the box next to that person's name and click on edit selected, and it will take you back in and you can edit that information. Otherwise, we're going to say that everything is good, and we're going to click on continue application. And then here is general contact information. This is information that we will share out with the public. It's in case they want to reach somebody from your company regarding your business. This is shared with the public. So again, we need a good phone number and a good email for them. And then you'll click on continue application. And then here is where you're going to upload all of the required documents. And again, if you don't have the FBI background check for the owner, and you don't have any of these organizational documents for your company, or you don't have the valid ID for your owner, you can save and resume and come back and upload those documents. Otherwise, we're going to say that we have all of those documents uploaded on our computer in a PDF or JPEG format. And so what you'll do is the first one, this first document, this first box, we're going to upload the FBI background check for the owner. And if you have multiple owners, you'll have multiple boxes to upload, and it will tell you whose FBI background check we want. For this example, the owner's name is Jane Doe, and so we want Jane Doe's FBI background check uploaded in this box. And then in this box, we want the organizational documents for your company. And so you will click on upload, find that document within your computer, and then you will upload that document. And then again, we need a valid identification for Jane Doe. So you'll click on that box, and then you'll click on upload, and then you'll find the valid ID for your owner, and then you will upload that into here. And I had all of my documents saved as PDFs, and then I make sure that everything is uploaded successfully, and then you're going to click on continue application. If you see that you uploaded the wrong document, you can click on the little red X next to that box to remove that document and upload the correct document. So you would click on the little red X, and then you would click on that upload button again, go find the correct document, click on that and upload that into on here. And again, you'll make sure that all the boxes have something in it, and then you'll click on continue application. And then here, one more time, you're going to review everything for accuracy. And if you see something that you need to correct, you can again click on that edit button and go back to that portion of the application and correct that information and submit it again. And then you will review the oath of application, read everything completely. If you agree, you'll check that box and you'll click on continue application. All right, and then here we're back to the 3 parts of the application. And once all of the parts of the application are changed to complete edit, you'll see the submit application package will turn over to blue, where you can submit the application package. So we know we're not complete with the application because it's still grayed out, and we have 2 buttons that still need to be completed. So then the second button that we're going to do is the licensed establishment. That's the location. That's where the business license is going to be held. So you're going to click on start. And then here it's just reminding you that this business address is where the license is going to be located. And then you click on continue application. And then here it tells you all of the documents that you're going to need for this application. Again, you are going to need a zone use permit and a possession of property certificate that is filled out completely and signed and dated, or a complete lease that is valid for at least 90 days from the date of the application. And that lease needs to be all pages. If it says that there's 90 pages in the lease, we want all 90 pages of that lease, and it needs to be fully executed, signed, and dated. We need all the complete lease, or you can have the landlord or the owner fill out this one-page possession of property certificate and fill that out, sign it, and complete it. And you can substitute that instead of the lease. And then we also need the one on-site manager at least. You can have up to 3 on-site managers, but we will need their name, date of birth, home address, and contact information. And this is somebody that has the authority to make decisions regarding the licensed establishment where your license is located. They need to have access and control over the licensed establishment at all times. We need a good contact information for them. And we also need a copy of their valid state or federally issued ID. And again, if you don't have all of these documents, you can save and resume this application. Otherwise, make sure all of the documents are filled out and signed and all uploaded on your desktop completely in a PDF or JPEG format. And again, if you need more information, you can go to our web pages to find out more information about these documents. Otherwise, let's click on continue application. And then here it's we have what you could call a location name. Some businesses may have 10 massage business licenses located in the city and county of Denver, and you may differentiate them by store number 200, store number 400, store number south. And so that's what you could put in here, the location name. That just helps you out on your account when you log into your account and you have multiple licenses. The location name will tell you which one that you're talking about. Otherwise, if you don't need that, you can just leave it blank and click on continue application. And then here, this is asking for on-site managers. And again, you need at least 1 on-site manager, but you can have up to 3 on-site managers listed. For this example, we're going to click on add a manager, and then we're going to enter in the first name and the last name of that manager, and then their home address, and then their city and their state and their zip code. And then we need their date of birth. And then also we need a good contact phone number for them. And then we also need a good email for them. And then what is their position with your company? For this example, we're going to say that they're a manager. And then you'll click on submit. And then again, if you wanted to add another, you could just click on add a manager again, and then you could add another one. And same if you wanted a third one, you would add manager and add that information. Again, look at everything and make sure that everything is typed in correctly and that we have the correct information. If not, you can edit that selection. Otherwise, we're going to say that everything is good, and we're going to click on continue application. And then here it asks, do you own or rent the property where your business license is going to be held? For this example, we're going to say rent, and then we want to know what the expiration date of your rent of your lease is. And again, that needs to be at least 90 days in the future. And so you'll enter in that expiration date. And if you say that you lease, and we want to make sure that what you input here matches the possession of property certificate that you turn in or the lease that you turn in. Everything needs to match. And so again, we'll input that information, and then we'll click on continue application. And then here is where you need to upload the required documents. First off, we need a zoning use permit or an acknowledgement of zoning use permit. If you turn in an acknowledgement of zoning use permit, it means that you're able to continue with the application, but you won't be able to obtain a license until you turn in the zone use permit. So this is just a placeholder if you turn that in, and it needs to be filled out and signed and dated properly. Or if you've already obtained the zone use permit, upload the zone use permit. And then again, a possession of property certificate or a lease that is valid for at least 90 days from the date of application. And again, if it's a 200-page lease, we need all 200 pages uploaded for this application, and it needs to be fully signed and dated. And then again, valid identification for your on-site manager. And if you have 3 on-site managers, you'll have to upload 3 separate valid IDs for each manager. So we will click here. And so the first document we're going to upload is the zone use permit. And then we are going to upload the possession of property certificate or the lease. And then we are going to upload the valid ID for your on-site manager. And again, make sure that you have the correct documents uploaded and that they're all in a PDF or a JPEG format. And then we'll click on Continue Application. And then one more time, you're going to review everything for accuracy. If you need to edit anything that has an edit button, you'll go back to that part of the application to edit, and then you'll submit and continue through the application. Again, make sure that you read the oath of application completely. And then if you agree to it, you'll check that box and then you'll click on Continue Application. And then finally, the third part of the application, you're going to click on Start. And again, it's just telling you, okay, you're submitting a massage business application under this company name at this location. And then you're going to click on Continue Application. And then here it tells you all of the required information for this application. You'll need the business employer's identification number. That's the federal tax ID number, the EIN number. If applicable, you'll need a copy of your Denver City sales tax license. If necessary, any information about felonies, misdemeanors, etc. So read all of this information completely. And again, if you need any of this information, you can save and resume this application within 30 days. You'll get that information, you'll upload it on your computer in a PDF or JPEG format, and then you can resume the application at a later date. Or if you have everything that you need, you can click on Continue Application. And then here it's just going to ask you some yes/no questions. Please make sure that you read everything carefully and you answer to the best of your abilities. So if you answer yes to the first question, you will have to add a later date, a later page in the application. You'll have to upload some information. Same thing with the second and the third. So for this example, I'm just going to say yes to everything just to show you what kind of documents you'll have to upload later. Otherwise, you can answer no if no is the correct answer for everything, and then you won't have to upload documents for this. But please answer truthfully. And so again, read carefully and you'll answer yes or no. For this example, I'm going to say yes to everything, and then we're going to click on Continue Application. And then this is just a reminder that about the different reasons your application may be denied. So you'll get this warning message and then read that carefully if that comes up for you. And if it may not come up for you, and then you'll click on Continue Application. And then here it's going to ask you some more history about the applicant or the principal. So again, you're going to answer everything truthfully, and you're going to answer yes or no. And so for this example, I'm going to just say yes because I want to show you what kind of information you'll have to fill out if you say yes. And then you'll click on Continue Application. All right. And so here it says you previously indicated that the applicant or principal um, on this license has been convicted, and it asks, do you have copies of these convictions? If you say yes, you'll upload copies of those convictions. If you say you don't have copies of the paperwork and you say no, then it's going to ask you to provide information regarding that offense, the penalty or punishment imposed, and the date and place where such events occurred. For this example, we're going to say, yes, we do have copies of the convictions, and so we'll upload those documents. Otherwise, again, if you don't have copies, you'll say no, and you'll fill out all of that information. Okay, and then you'll click on continue application. And again, here it says you previously indicated that the applicant or principal had a license that was for any other massage business or ordinance denied, suspended, or revoked. It says, do you have copies of those actions? And if you do have copies of those and you have them on your computer in a PDF or JPEG format, you're going to say yes. Otherwise, if you don't have that and you say no, then again, you'll explain what happened. For this example, we're going to say, yes, we have copies, and then we're going to click on continue application. And then here it asks about previous violations. And again, it's going to ask, do you have copies of the judgments? Again, if you say yes, you can upload the copies of the judgments. And again, they need to be on your computer in a JPEG or PDF format. Or if you don't have those copies, you say no, and then you'll provide all of the details regarding those judgments. Again, I'm going to say yes, and then we're going to click on continue applications. And then here, it's going to ask you about, as I previously had indicated, that the applicant or any principal has been or is currently the owner, officer, director, manager, partner, or member of any legal entity which currently operates or previously operated a massage business. And they want you to provide the details of those establishments now. And examples of a location name could include a store number or a club number, and this should not be a repeat of the trade name. If the applicant or principal is still currently involved, leave the dates of operation to box blank. So you'll click on add a row, and we'll say that the legal entity of the company name, and we'll want the full legal name. And then did they operate under a trade name that was different from the company name? And so you'll do the trade name, and then you will also put in the location name or the designation if you had that. If it was like a store number or something like that, you would put that information in. And then we want the full address of that store, and then you'll put in the street address, and then we also want the city and the state and the zip code of that location. And then we want to know what years that business operated. So again, if the business is still operating, you'll say when you first started operating that business, and then if it's still going, you'll leave the dates of operation to blank. Or if it closed, you can enter in the date that it closed, and you'll put in that information, and then you'll click on submit. And then if you had more than one other massage business license, please input all of that information here. And then again, you'll review everything for accuracy. If everything looks good, you'll click on continue application. And then here, it's going to ask you the business employer identification number. And that employer identification number is, it will have two numbers, and then it'll have a dash. and then it will have 7 numbers after that. So you'll enter in the full numbers there, and then it will ask you, do you have a Denver sales tax license? If you say yes, we'll want you to upload a copy of that sales tax license. And then, so if you say yes, you'll click that button, and then you'll click on continue application. If you don't have one, then click on no. And then here, it's just asking you to upload all of the documents listed here. It's going to ask you for the copies of the felony misdemeanors violations, the license suspension documents, the judgment or fraud, deceit, misrepresentation documents, and the Denver sales tax license. So you'll upload all of that information, and then you'll add that to the file, and then you'll make sure that everything is uploaded correctly, and then you'll click on continue application. And then here, you're going to read all of the statements of understanding for this license. If you agree to all of the statements, then you'll check the box next to it, and please make sure that you read each statement fully and that you understand each statement. And again, if you agree to everything, you check the box, and then you'll click on continue application. And one more time, you're going to review everything for accuracy. And if you need to edit anything, you'll click on the edit button and go back to that part of the application to correct it. Otherwise, if everything looks good, you'll read the oath of application completely. If you agree to that, you'll check that checkbox, and then you'll click on continue application. Okay, so here we finally have all 3 parts of the application is complete. So you can see that's complete. And then now the submit application package is blue. So we want to submit the application package and click on that. And then here it's going to tell you, warning, you need to make the payment before this application is fully submitted. And so what you'll do is you'll click here to go back to the records list to make your payment. But first I want you to notice down here, this is the application being submitted for your address is listed right here. And here's your package number. That's the 3 portions of the application are bundled up into this package. We've got this number here, the LE, which is the licensed establishment. That's the location record ID. The BFN number is the massage business license number. So you'll want that number. And then the entity number, that is the company ID number. That is your LLC number. So these numbers here, please take note of these numbers because you'll want to make sure that you have those for your records. Or when you click here, it's going to take you back to a section of your online records called My Records. And then it shows you all of those numbers here as well. And so now we need to make a payment for this license in order for it to be submitted to Excise and Licenses for review. So here on the BFN or the license, the massage business license, you'll go over here to the right and you'll see pay fees due. And then so you'll want to click on pay fees due. And then now it's going to take you to a section and it's going to tell you this is what you're applying for. Here's the application fee, the license fee. This is how much you're going to pay. And then you'll click on continue application. And then it's going to take you to a third-party vendor where you're going to enter in your credit card or banking information. And then again, it's telling you how much you're going to pay for this license. And then you'll click on checkout now. And then here it wants the credit card information or the bank account information. You can, if you say you're paying with a credit card, it's going to have this button highlighted. Or if you want to pay with a bank account, you can select bank account. For this example, we are going to say that we're paying with a credit card. If you're paying with a bank, you need a routing number, the account number, the account holder name, and the account type, whether it's checking or savings. For a credit card, we're going to say we're paying with a credit card. And then for a credit card, you need the credit card number and you need the expiration date and the zip code of the um, billing information. You need the zip code that's on that. And so you'll enter in the card number, the expiration date, and the zip code. And then you'll click on complete transaction. All right. And then this is your receipt page. You want to make sure that you print a copy of this page for your records. We do not email or mail you a copy of this receipt. So please make sure you print a copy of this for your records. And then now the application has been submitted to Excise and Licenses, and what you could do is you could go click on back to permit center and then click on my records and then click on business licenses, and it will show you here that the application has been submitted and that the 3 sections are pending. And we Excise and Licenses has 7 to 10 business days to review the application. If we have any questions about the application, we will send you an email to the email that was used to create this account and all of the email information that was listed on this account. We will send you an email if we need corrected documents. It will be called an application deficiency. So please watch your email for any communication from us, because we will communicate to you through email about your application. And if we need something right here, you'll get that email and then you'll log back into your account. And over here on the right, you'll see a button that says edit, and it will be next to the section that we need documents. And the email will explain the information that we will need from you. So again, if we need anything from you, it will show the edit button or it will show you the status of the application. So again, we have 7 to 10 business days to review the initial application, and then every step of the application, you will receive an email from us telling you what's next. So again, you have successfully submitted your application. And that concludes this training video for the massage business application. I'd like to thank you for watching this Denver Excise and Licenses video. And again, if you have any questions regarding this application or this process, you can contact 311 and they will be able to get you an answer or take your information and get that over to Excise and Licenses. Again, I hope that you found this training video helpful, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you.